Guys, welcome back to another episode of Schofield Welding. I have Cave Clark Sparks Welding with us right now. So Cave has been welding with us for about a year and a half. In this video, we're going to talk about how to set your machine up, how to set your coupon up, where your argon needs to be, and things like that. This is going to be a TIG welding video. We're going to be welding carbon. We're going to be using S72 wire. Sorry, that's all I have. Over here in Idaho, it's pretty tough to get S76 for some reason, but if you have the option to get a stain or a carbon TIG wire, get an S76 or S6.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot better wire and it's gonna run a lot better than this S72.
The clothes I got a Pipeliner's Cloud welding cap. This is Martin Brothers welding shirt, Martin Brothers pants. So we got it split in half. And now we got to put a bevel on it, and I'm going to use a flap wheel on my grinder, and I'm just going to clean this up and get it ready to weld. And so when I put on a bevel, I try to keep it at 37.5 degrees. And as you get a little bit more of experience putting on bevels, you'll be able to kind of tell that just by looking at it, what a good bevel will look like. So the reason why we grind on the outside when we're running a TIG coupon or a TIG weld is we want to make sure that there's no contaminants in our weld. So TIG's a little bit different. It's a little bit more finicky with that. So we have to clean the paint off the outside of our pipe and off the inside as well. It's all in your prep. Don't have to prep because that'll just make for one, not as good of a weld, and it just makes it, when you're in the field, it makes it that much harder to make a quality weld and pass X-ray if that's what you're welding to. So right now I'm checking to make sure that my bevels will line up and that I don't have any too huge gaps. I'm not completely perfect when I put on my hand bevel. It's pretty even all the way around. Now I can go ahead and get ready to tack and set up my weld. Here you can see some of our TIG wire got a little bit rusty. All we got to do is take a Scotch-Brite pad. So I'd carry one of these with you in your box or on your truck with you if you're going to be running some TIG. And you take it and you just run your wire through it, and it'll clean off that rust, and then you'll be good to go and you'll be able to make a clean weld. So what I like to do with my TIG wire is I'll take it and I'll cut it about in half. Sometimes a little shorter or a little longer, depending on what size of pipe I'm welding or whatever, but I'll take it, cut it in half, and it makes it a little bit more manageable. I like to take a 532 welding rod and leave the flux on when I go to put in my tacks. That way, by the time I put in my tacks and the pipe expands and contracts, my gap will be just perfect where I like it. Because by the time I get all 4 tacks in, the gap shrinks a little bit. So that's one thing with TIG you've got to be aware of, is your gap will shrink as you weld it, as you put in your rod. I put that in at about 93 amps For me, it felt a little cold on this size of pipe. I usually put in about a ½ inch or longer tack. That way when I go to feather it, it still leaves enough that it doesn't shrink. The gap doesn't shrink on me too much. For those that don't know, feathering means when I get all 4 tacks in, what I'll do is I'll grind the ends of my tacks. So when I go to tie in on my rut, it'll tie into the tacks nice.
Basically what we were trying to show you is how to set up the coupons, how to set up your TIG rigs, your machines, all of that stuff, kind of where your amperage is on this stuff. Now, one thing we did realize is I did have some S76 or S70S6 TIG wire out in the trailer. The boys had gotten it in Wisconsin, and you can see inside where we use the S72, and then the difference between the 6 and the 2. The 6 is so much smoother. The 2 is quite a bit lumpier. Guys, that's kind of where I would start as a beginner. We're gonna put the root in, and then in the next video, we'll show you guys how to kind of run your fill passes, and then probably the next video, we'll cap this thing. So for everybody that's trying to self-teach themselves, this is one of the things that I would suggest learning, is learning how to put a root in with carbon. And then once you've got the carbon figured out, purge this thing and run stainless. You don't have to get stainless pipe to run stainless wire, but you can't do the opposite. You can't have stainless pipe run carbon wire, okay? You can't do that. Thank you, Cabe, for coming and doing this with us, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Be blessed. See ya.